all the men on the internet complaining that they are loveless and can't find women? And
so are women. And they just do it at a different age. See, women in their 20s, they don't complain too much because, you know, if you go right now and you show a picture of your ass on the internet, you're going to have 20,000 guys who go, oh my God, my lady, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. And that stops when you get older. Stops when you're 40, 45, 50. That validation starts going away. So women in those age brackets have huge loneliness epidemics as well. It's just, that's the case, right? So it just happens to them at different times in life. And then men who get older, less lonely, the older they get. Why? Because they have resources and they start fucking young women. That's how it works.
Well, I think that also, you know, that would depend upon what the woman has done with her life. My mother had no shortage of suitors who were wealthier than her and typically younger than her up until her 50s. And all of her friends seemed to do pretty well in their old age.
I mean, but your anecdote aside, it is true there's a male loneliness epidemic crisis, and we do hyper focus on that, right? But the truth is that's the case for women too. If the men are lonely, then, and there's as many women as there are for men, right? Then shouldn't, by the power of inference here, we determine that if the men are lonely, the women also would be lonely?
But you just said that young women have far more opportunities. So we're talking about different age ranges.
Yeah, it's because younger women are basically all fucking the same few handfuls of men.
Okay,
through hypergamy.
So what we have is an issue here where young women, have many choices. Young men have very few.
Well, they have choices of who to sleep with, not necessarily who to be with.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about with young men is like the young men who just can't get laid at all, which I don't think is a huge amount, by the way. And by the way, you see a lot of young men moving towards traditional churches, and that's another reason why you see the celibate rate going up.
I personally doubt the sincerity of the movement towards those churches, just based on, I feel that, so I was raised very, very, very religious, but I was raised by a father who was raised atheist, converted after my parents divorced, and he later told me, yeah, I thought it was all BS. Like, I was never actually into it. It was just kind of something I needed at the time. And I do feel that people who are raised without a strong religious influence growing up, it causes me to doubt the sincerity of their conversion, because I often feel like they don't believe it. What they want is a community, or they want some sort of moral high ground, so to speak.
I listened to this 3 times and did not get a single thing out of what this lady had to say.
User says women could never handle the level of loneliness a man feels on a daily basis. Sometimes I hate talking about this subject because I feel like it makes me seem like some sort of pick me, but honestly, I think about this all the time. I have lost multiple male friends to self-deletion, and I personally have been like so unbearably lonely, so depressed, so down in the dumps, and I still go out and I'll like get attention or have someone open the door for me, or like have people ask me out, have people in my DMs, have people on Bumble, and it's always just made me think like, holy crap, like if I feel this, and maybe I'm just projecting onto you guys, but I've always thought like, holy crap, like if it's that bad for me as a woman where I'm getting attention, then like hats off to you guys. I could never do it.
All the ways you get attention don't exist for us.
I could never live with somebody who like sleeps until noon on a Saturday.
That's such a good point. I feel like lifestyle is like so important, and like those are things that you can pick up on before you decide to move in with somebody.
All I could do was just laugh while listening to this. To be honest, her complaining about this doesn't surprise me at all. This is something men have to realize when getting into a relationship. Women love to get up on a Saturday and just be out, doing stuff.
Can we talk about why modern women are lonelier than ever? Because nobody wants to admit the real reason. I see it everywhere. Successful women with amazing careers, perfect Instagram feeds, but they're absolutely miserable and isolated. And I know because I used to be one of them. We were told that independence was everything, that we didn't need anyone, that needing people was weakness, so we built these perfect little walls around ourselves. We chose careers over relationships, being right over being loved, and proving ourselves over connecting with others. We pushed away anyone who tried to get close to us because we had to be strong. And now we're sitting in our perfectly decorated apartments, scrolling through dating apps, wondering why we feel so empty inside. We have everything modern feminism promised us, but we've never been more alone. Because the truth is, humans are wired for connection. Especially women, we need community, partnership, and deep relationships. But we've been convinced that wanting these things makes us weak or pick-me's. The loneliness epidemic isn't an accident. It's what happens when you tell women to reject everything that actually fulfills them. You can have all the success in the world, but if you don't have real connection, you have nothing.
So I've been seeing some videos on my For You page, and I think that it is finally time to discuss the female loneliness epidemic. Because I know the men have had their own thing, and I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not a man, right? But I will say that the men are more built for it than us. We are not built for this shit, ladies. We don't know how to be alone. These men have been bottling up their emotions and not sharing them with anybody since they were 6, 7, 8 years old. Some of us have never done that. We've always had someone to talk to, a friend, a family member, a significant other, something. And it seems like in 2025, the girls are running out of options because the dating market is terrible. Y'all are literally making fun of girls that are in happy, healthy relationships, saying that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Miserables. And then y'all also don't have any friends, because anytime somebody reposts something that you disagree with, oh, that's how you feel about immigration policy, you're not my friend anymore. Now y'all don't have any freaking friends. Like, it's not gonna end well if your requirement for somebody to have a relationship with you is that they have to be on the exact same page with you 100% of the time. No one is. We are all people with our own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and ideas. And if you don't respect that in another person, then of course you're going to be by yourself. There's no one else that's going to fit that mold. Y'all have to learn healthy communication skills. You have to learn healthy relationship skills. Go to therapy if you need to, do something. But if you are sitting at home right now and you don't have 5 friends that you can call, no man, and your family members just don't get you, I promise the only common denominator in all of those scenarios is...
Men have been telling women this for years. This will not end well for women.
I have decided that the annual to biannual rattling of Carolyn Bessette's Kennedy's casket is a symptom of a female loneliness epidemic, because it's not just her, it's not just CBK, it's not about the pasta la, but it's the tinned fish, it's the waking up at 5 a.m. for lip balm drops, it's the park sweater of it all. You need to talk to a friend, you're missing community, you want to be a part of something, and I get that, we all do it. When I see, cooking trends that I'm like, well, I should do that too. I've never thought about dumpling lasagna once in my life. I don't care. Like, I just want to be a part of something. So it's like every time you have that urge to go buy 15 white cotton shirts and get a hot Democratic boyfriend that's going to kill you in a plane crash, you need to call a friend, go have a drink with a friend, talk to the girl next to you in your Pilates class. That's what you're missing. You can't convince me otherwise. Do not argue with me in the comments about it. The urge to consume and be able to buy an identity or buy taste, you want to be a part of something, you want to be on the wave, you need to phone a friend. That's my old lady on the internet opinion of the day. I'm right.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. Mass consumerism is not a community. I can't stand the lack of individuality by way of consumerism.
Like, being happy with being single and, we don't need a man and all this other stuff in response to what's going on. I've been this way for years and I'm tired. I'm really tired, and I don't think that it's weak to crave human connection and to want to tear my walls down and to want to love. Like, that's like, human connection is literally, it's innate in us. It is natural to us, and I don't feel like I should fault myself for that anymore, and I don't feel like I should continuously hide that. It's like, I just don't know, honestly, what the to do.
Type shit.
The female loneliness epidemic is here, and I'm here for it.
This is what happens when you sit out here and you promote these pandering content creators who play to your hurt emotions, your bitterness, and your terrible experiences. So that way y'all get online and you spew, vitriol and hatred toward men because, you know what, you had some bad dealings with a couple of them. And now my timeline is filled up with women complaining about, where's all the good men at? Where are the men at for this? Where are the men at for that? Where's the men that want to go on dates? Where's the men that yearn? Where's the men that court? Where's the men that do da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da? And now my new timeline is filled up with, where's all the men at for the singles events? Where it's nothing but women at singles events. It's like 95% women at these singles events. What happened? Where's the men? The men listen. Y'all thought that making these videos go viral, these content creators who try to, pander and manipulate to your emotions and your bad experiences, you thought talking shit and bashing men was going to be fun. It was fun for the moment. It helped you feel good, right? But men paid attention to that shit. Realized a lot of you don't even like men. And now y'all got all these women out here begging, crying, where's all the men? Well, maybe you should hold women accountable.
The good men are in their rejected DMs. Absolute truth. And men are finding solitude to be quite refreshing. Simple life without a wife.
It has nothing to do with being scared.
Can we please bring back men coming up to us? Why are you so scared? Why are you so scared of coming up to us?
It has nothing to do with rejection.
Genuinely, I don't I get it, rejection, okay, I get it. However, if you go up to a girl in a nice way, I don't think you can fail.
Men are not afraid to walk up to you, and we have no problem actually initiating. Everything you said in the video is disingenuous. And respectfully, you don't get it. At the end of the day, you might have experienced rejection, but you've never experienced the male experience. So no, you don't get it. And that's the reason why you're not getting approached, because you don't get it. Men are definitely exhausted. They're very tired. And I'm going to tell you why you're not being approached. And it's very simple. We're tired of the no text backs. We're tired of spending money on dates and then all of a sudden you disappear and we have no idea. We're tired of scheduling and trying to get a date, but you're constantly busy and always going somewhere. We're tired of all the insults, the I don't need a man. Adulting that's just being confused for independence. The gaslighting, the lies, all of the over-sexualization of yourself, but then we're wrong for even joining in or calling it out. The constant going out every weekend and not expecting to be hit on or make a mistake ever. Mind you, not every guy is experiencing this, but this is the thing that is the biggest deterrent to everything. Stop expecting us to just be okay with the mind games and the constant pain of not understanding. Why is it so difficult to get to know you? So stop trying to, honestly, you seem very genuine in your video. It's just you don't know what you're saying is disingenuous. But just insinuating that we have a fear of something that we're very used to, take rejection. Men have to be rejected for the most part. Guys aren't going to walk up to majority of the girls in their life and they're going to say yes. And rejection isn't always at the beginning. A lot of times rejection is later on in the end. It takes a lot to deal with just y'all as a person. The nagging, the constant beration, the problems, the meanness, all that stuff is culminating into, well, I'm just not going to walk up to her because I just don't want to talk to that anymore. I have experienced it far too often where I am talking to a girl and in the middle of me having a pleasant conversation, she'll just make a gay joke for some reason. And it's just it wasn't funny. I'm not trying to find a girlfriend for her to be my homie. I'm looking for someone soft, feminine, sweet to talk to ease my day. Not trying to come and play the dozens with you after a long day of work. So no, this idea that you are like, the idea that we're afraid of rejection or to walk up to you is not the problem. And until y'all start addressing these root causes, this is how it will remain.
Why would we approach a bill? Honestly, don't blame us for being fed up. We deal with a lot.
I've reached a point where I feel that it is entitled and not right for a man to have an opinion about wanting children. I'm not talking about a couple coming to the conclusion that they want children together. That is very different. I am talking about men feeling entitled to the opinion that they want children when all that they have to do is orgasm, and then somebody else bears all of the health risks, the responsibility, everything. And they are walking around not with a desire to have like children with their partner. They just want children. And they're like, are you going to sacrifice your body for me? You good with that? They expect somebody to do that for them. To walk around this earth wanting children when your only contribution is orgasm and you are expecting somebody to bear all of the responsibility for this and all of the risks, and you're just expecting somebody to give this to you, that is the most entitled, privileged thing I can ever think of. If the situation was reversed, women would not be doing this.
So remember, I don't know, those of you who watched another show that we did recently, where I talk about how they're coming for the dads. So it's not just about now, men hating where they hate, the guy that they are messing with, or they hate the guy that they're, in a relationship with, or they're then it shifted over to like the hating of the husbands, right? Now it's the dads, right? Ooh, can't stand the dads. So she's actually saying she can't stand that you guys out there, because you can't biologically carry a child like we can, you're not entitled to say that you want children. Can you imagine the psychosis going on in this woman's head? Let's just think about it for a second. Now, why is this happening? So there's an important point here. These women have been trained, they've been brainwashed, and they've been trained to hate their own biology, right? They're resentful of their own biology. Now, why is that? Because they've been told that their biology turns them into a slave, right? Oh, you're just going to be a housekeeper and a maid. That their biology is somehow enslaving them to the life of mom, which is going to keep them from working and keep them from making money. They bought into all these talking points that somehow, because they have a female anatomy, female biology, that they are now limited in capacity, that they are less than, that they are weaker, all these things. Now, we are weaker in many respects, but there's nothing to be embarrassed about, right? We aren't as strong as men physically. We all know that. Rational people can just 2 and 2 is 4, honey. But they're resentful of that reality. So now they feel like guys have no opinion, right? They're not allowed to have an opinion about anything that they can't do themselves. So I would ask her also, does that flip the other way too? Right? So should women not be allowed to have an opinion on things they can't do themselves? Because last I checked, all of you ladies want to have an opinion about everything. You're entitled to have an opinion about everything, but a guy's not entitled to say, hey, I want to be a dad. They want to take everything away from these guys because they're so A, they're resentful of their own biology, and B, they're jealous. They're jealous. These are women that are so die hard to compete with men. They're so die hard to do everything that a man can do just the way a man can do it, even if their own biology tells them they can't do that. They're so angry about that. They're so twisted about that, that it's coming out in these bizarre ways, right? It's almost like the implication is that guys could also carry a child, but are just choosing not to. And instead, they want you to do it. Guys can't carry children. Honey, the beauty of this is that men and women are supposed to come together, right? And it's a beautiful thing. Any good man out there, any quality man out there will say that a woman's ability to have a baby, to grow a person inside her body is the most incredible, magical superpower thing that a woman can do. They honor it. They respect it. They love it. They love their women even more. They find, when their wives become pregnant, they find it super sexy and yummy, right? You're growing a child. It's amazing, right? Any good quality man is going to acknowledge that. But a lot of these women, they see it as, ugh, this is baggage. This is going to weigh me down. Because they've been brainwashed. They've been told time and time again that all of these things that make them a woman are weak, are less than, and they have to ditch all of them in order to be able to compete with a man and a man.
Who are these women talking about? No, Delulu. A man who wants children finds a woman who wants children. Simple as that.
So young women are saying that women in their 40s and older are going to find out that they're the ones having a loneliness epidemic after what's happening right now with women deciding not to have children and get married. First of all, you can be lonely while you're in the room with 30 other people. You can be very lonely when you're married, but I've been married for 20 years and I'm 62 years old now. And do you know why my marriage is working out? Because my husband is gone 4 days of the week. He does his thing, I do my thing. I like being alone, and I'm not lonely at all. Maybe young women should stop pretending like they know how older women think and feel. And what makes you think just because women don't get married and don't have children, they're going to be lonely in the first place? Why do you think that you have to have a man in your life so that you're not lonely? You do know that women actually have women friends, right? I would rather spend time with my dogs than most people.
If they keep debating this shit, it clearly means they are being defensive and don't even want to understand the point of it all. You don't see men being defensive like this ever.
See, they're never going to admit this because it'll go against the sisterhood. It'll go against their entire narrative that they're trying to push and make people believe that they're okay with being alone. When we all know that y'all not okay with that, because if you was, you would have no need to go to a singles event. You wouldn't even care about a singles event because you would be too happy with your peaceful single life. You'd be too happy with that. But they're not going to get on here and admit that they're tired of having to work 2 or 3 jobs just to still not be able to pay your rent. I saw a girl on my timeline just the other day talking about how she ready to take herself up off the earth because she working 3 jobs and still can't pay her rent and about to get evicted. She showed the eviction notice and everything. Like I said in the other video, it's an influx of women living in tents, cars, vans, trying to pass it off as car life. No, y'all are just broke and can't afford to live and ain't got sense enough to just get with a man.
Exactly the point. Women would be too happy with their life and cats alone, not rambling and rage-baiting the whole arse internet. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.